Since the Avengers disbandment, and after snapping the population back, many fans believe that the Earth's mightiest heroes' former villains are now gone for good, but that's not exactly the case. Do you want to know why? For today's video, we'll be talking about how a certain MCU rumor sets up Ultron's live-action return after Phase 4. Plus, get to know these shocking predictions for Phase 4 and beyond of the MCU only here in today's video. In today's video, we'll be talking about a recent rumor that suggests that Phase 2 villain Ultron would make a cameo appearance in one of the next Marvel Studios films. James Spader plays the rogue AI in Avengers Age of Ultron, but it hasn't been seen in any other mainline MCU movies since then, except for a brief cameo in the first season of Disney Plus's What If. The Avengers 2 Adversary just made a cameo appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, although it was during a Disney Wish vacation and had nothing to do with the Earth 616 Marvel Studios tale. Therefore, it has been more than 7 years since Spader's robotic antagonist last appeared on screen, merely including his primary live-action roles. Ultron is allegedly ready for another lap around the Marvel Studios track, so if a recent rumor is accurate, everything might change very rapidly. And now we heard rumors that Ultron is ready to make a comeback. Ultron might return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe at some point in the near future, according to a recent report. According to information provided to the Cosmic Circus, the rogue AI was not destroyed at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron, and minor fragments of the program still exist dormant in the cosmos. It remains to be known, though, when James Spader's Marvel antagonist will truly make a comeback. The media outlet suggested two potential locations for Ultron to reappear. The first was the big-budget adaptation of the streaming series Armor Wars, which made sense given that Tony Stark was the creator of Ultron and that this movie will focus entirely on the legacy left by Robert Downey Jr.'s Marvel character. Because Ultron and Vision are essentially two different iterations of the same AI program, the second project mentioned was the rumored Vision Quest series. So when can we see the return of Ultron? It will be interesting to see what Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige and the team have chosen for Ultron to make his MCU comeback if that is the case. Armor Wars and Vision Quest, the two games mentioned above, both seem like prospects fit for the character. Ultron doesn't appear in any plot in the comic book versions, but Marvel Studios might change things up. If the character were to return, he would undoubtedly do so in a villainous capacity, and since neither Armor Wars nor Vision Quest has yet established who their major nemesis will be, Ultron could easily fit into either. Given that Paul Bettany's MCU android is a redefined version of the Ultron AI software, Vision Quest arguably makes the most sense. There is a considerable likelihood that Vision contains any rogue elements of the Age of Ultron villain that may be lurking someplace. There is no official release date for Armor Wars, and Marvel Studios has not yet made an official announcement regarding Vision Quest. Ultron making a comeback in the MCU isn't the only rumor we've heard. In fact, here are 6 other rumors and predictions for MCU's Phase 4 and beyond. From what we gathered, it seems that Valentina Allegra de Fontaine is gathering the anti-Avengers. Only 2 appearances of Julia Louis-Dreyfus's Valentina Allegra de Fontaine have been made in the Marvel Cinematic Universe thus far. She appeared to have recruited Americans for the first time on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, taking on some questionable mercenary work. The second time was when Yelena Belova was approached in Black Widow to pay her to kill Clint Barton. As of now, it seems that the MCU's Dave Fontaine is an illegal Nick Fury who operates cunningly in the shadows and seems to have a hatred against the Avengers. It would seem logical that Dave Fontaine may be putting together her own team, recruiting some of the newer villains or at least morally compromised characters that we will meet in the coming months, given the abundance of new enhanced and gifted characters that Marvel's film and television properties will introduce to us very shortly. And of course, there's been speculation that old blood will spill as new ones will rise. It was very clear that Avengers Endgame marked the conclusion of a significant selection of the MCU's overarching plot, heralding the departure of Steve Rogers and Tony Stark from the current timeline and essentially killing off Natasha Romanoff. However, once Thanos was defeated, not only were the bulk of Marvel's heroes brought back to life, but a new generation of heroes, including Shang-Chi, Monica Rambeau, and the Eternals, also joined the MCU, with many more to follow. But as the universe grows, so do its threats, and if there are going to be real stakes in future Marvel films, then not every Avengers story will end happily for them. Another theory we heard, and something we're pretty excited about, is the possibility of Vision's return in Ironheart. The Vision, whose memories were restored just before flying off in an illogical direction at the end of WandaVision, was among the many unresolved issues that were left hanging. This may be why it is so intriguing for the MCU as a whole. The Vision's logical next appearance, given the potential for the character moving forward, appears to be in Ironheart, the Marvel TV series that stars Riri Williams, when she makes her screen debut in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Williams, who Dominique Thorne would play, is described as another scientific prodigy in the Tony Stark mold, making a confrontation with this version of the Vision all the more appropriate, while the Vision would help the next series gain star power in the form of Paul Bettany. Aside from Vision's return, another prominent Marvel figure that will be returning is Daredevil in the series Echo. Long-running speculations and a recently purportedly released image from the John Campea show have many people believing that Charlie Cox would return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Matt Murdock in Spider-Man No Way Home, even though this is far from official. Although it is unlikely that Daredevil will don his cowl in No Way Home, the recognition of Cox makes room for Matt Murdock to make a comeback. However, Alaqua Cox's debut as Maya Lopez/Echo in Hawkeye and the return of Daredevil happen at the same time. Many believe Cox will play a significant role in advancing Echo's tale and reintroducing Daredevil into the main MCU canon. Echo is another superhero with impairments who has historically been portrayed as Daredevil's friend or reluctant nemesis. Also, we'd like to believe that Blade will make an appearance in Doctor Strange Agatha, House of Harkness, and Marvel Zombies. Although you might have heard him at the end of Eternals, Mahershala Ali's Blade is going to make his official MCU debut. The half-vampire anti-hero will need to be established in a world where supernatural horrors are still in their infancy, even if his solo movie isn't scheduled to come out until sometime in Phase 5. But given that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness seems to be the ideal chance to establish the character's horrifying history and welcome the undead into Marvel's major narrative, we might not have to wait too long for Blade to make an appearance in the MCU. Even a minor supporting role for Ali seems like a perfect fit thematically when you take into account the references to the impending sequel by filmmaker Sam Raimi and the project's original director Scott Derrickson as Marvel's first horror film. It would also make sense for the Blade character to further establish himself in the MCU's darker offerings such as Agatha, House of Harkness, and even the animated Marvel Zombies, since his own movie is still years away. And probably one of the most exciting theories for today's list is that the multiverse will help introduce Miles Morales and Deadpool into the MCU. The multiverse has recently been discussed in relation to all things MCU, and you don't need to be well versed on Marvel Twitter to know that. With the ability to canonically incorporate characters from other cinematic universes into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, speculation about which other characters from Fox's X-Men universe might also appear in the Marvel multiverse has been rife. Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider and Chris Evans' Johnny Storm have both been mentioned as potential candidates. What if Doctor Strange and the Marvel/Sony Spider-Man series have taught us about the multiverse? Ryan Reynolds' Wade Wilson/Deadpool is the character whose appearance in the MCU makes the most sense in light of the multiverse. Deadpool sliding through the cracks of a multiverse rift seemed like the perfect approach to introduce him into the MCU as a meta character from another universe who has discovered time travel and evaded death in his own world. But that's not all. The multiverse would also be a fantastic way to introduce Miles Morales to the MCU/Sonyverse, perhaps as Tom Holland's Peter Parker's natural successor after his ultimate confrontation with Tom Hardy's Venom. With that, we're wrapping up today's video about the probable future of the MCU's Phase 4 and beyond. Do you know of any other theories aside from the ones we mentioned? Please let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. We'll see you next time.